All right. So, playing Tavern Master. This is a different setup that I made. Kind of making all the folks somewhat equidistant from the table so they can get to them more quickly. I did actually make a second floor on this inn as well. Over here. So the James Webb Telescope has unfurled its sails officially, looking farther than we've ever looked before into the universe. And some would say, theoretically, back in time. See some of the beginnings of creation. So kind of cool there. I'm gonna move all these benches around. So here was looking at a really interesting company thinking about space and James Webb called NDB, who makes diamond radioisotope batteries, which are kind of based on a lot of technology that we use in space pretty regularly to power these very large like telescopes and satellites and such. And basically what it does is it works on the decay of a radioactive isotope, uses diamond encased in diamonds to generate energy. It's called a battery, but actually it's more of a generation device. So we'll generate energy and for approximately 20,000 years. So kind of cool. send these adventurers out to get some supplies. Well, the technology is based on what we use to power Voyager and some of the rovers that we've sent out. It uses the decay of like I said, a radioactive isotope, and produces power. And one of the drawbacks is it produces a ridiculously large amount of heat. So, for example, in space, heat isn't able to dissipate because there's no matter around. It's a vacuum. So there's a big challenge there. So the Voyager spacecraft actually has this very long arm that kind of sticks out away from it, and on that arm is the generator. Yeah, they can use lab generated diamonds. Actually, their diamonds are actually pretty cheap when they're lab created. The value of diamonds is pretty much exclusively a phenomenon based on the want and the desire for jewelry. But lab created diamonds are extremely commonplace, and they can be used. So yeah, it's kind of cool. But one of the things I was thinking about with that company, actually, to go back to more around the technology, if you watch the movie The Martian, there's actually a scene where he's trying to get power, and he actually goes to the one of the rover crash, or one of the sites of the rover. I think it's Pathfinder, and he gets his big generator and he puts it in the back of his vehicle. And one of the things he talks about is how it generates heat, and he has to keep it away. But that's the same concept that this company runs on. Really cool. Kind of changed the entire way that we look at energy development and energy usage and all sorts of stuff. So it'd be really, really cool if that comes to fruition. Now, you got a lot of hurdles to pass. Obviously, the technology is sound in theory, but once you scale it down, I don't know how well it actually applies. But one of the things they talked about was autonomous vehicles, and having vehicles that essentially, imagine having like a Tesla that you didn't have to charge, or and you just could go wherever you wanted to go for whatever reason. It sounds too good to be true, and usually when things sound too good to be true, they are. But as I said, the science is pretty sound there. But waiting to see a prototype. That company's supposed to have a prototype. Is NDB Technologies should be around very shortly. I believe they said 2022 actually was when their prototype was supposed to come out. But imagine having a cell phone you didn't have to charge. Imagine not having wires to anything. Like I said, completely would utterly revolutionize the way that we look at energy and power. So pretty cool. Actually, one of the people that I've looked a lot into, obviously, is Nikola Tesla. That's one of the things that he was really big on, was decentralized energy, not using kind of this model that we have where energy is generated in one place and transmitted around. He was actually looking at having wireless energy transmission. So not necessarily the same concept, but the decentralization idea is a pretty cool concept that, rather than a series of large generators, having a larger number of small generators kind of interlinked. And really that idea of open source was kind of created back then with Tesla and his idea around wireless, hopefully limitless energy. And sometimes you see people out there trying to say that you can generate energy like from the air, which is actually kind of true. The only problem is those devices actually draw upon the radio waves that are coming in from terrestrial radio and stuff like that. So yeah, technically speaking, it does actually generate energy, which is what radio waves do. But the problem is, you would have to make, to power your home, you'd have to make an antenna, that wraps around the earth. So it's pretty unviable technology. So I feel like I went on this weird rant about technology, which is one of the things that I'm really into. A little bit of a technophile. Have, the house here is pretty well wired up with various functions that can be controlled autonomously. Actually work somewhat around that sphere. And one of the things I talk to people a lot about is, when you get into automation and automated home, and various devices like Alexa and Siri and such, you kind of look at what platform you're gonna choose to utilize. Are you gonna utilize Google or Alexa, which is Amazon, and Nest, which is Google, or maybe Apple HomeKit, or whatever? The two big ones in the sphere really are Amazon and Google. So yeah, kind of cool. But I tend to roll with Google. They have a larger number of platforms which they can interface with, whereas Alexa seems to be a little bit less. Kind of got into it because I get a Ring doorbell camera, and then I realized that everything else I had was Google related, and Ring being Alexa didn't really well fit. So if you're considering automation and getting into the base steps of having the doorbell and cameras and various things around your home, I would definitely look at what platform you're going to choose to begin with. And actually more and more companies are getting into that sphere, especially the security companies like Comcast. I think is starting to get into that sphere a lot more. But pretty cool. Actually, I have light switches that are set up. Once you start to get into the Wi-Fi ideas, how many devices you have on your Wi-Fi start to pollute the network. But Lutron makes a nice set called a Cassetta that actually has its own hub, so it doesn't. It hooks directly into your router by a wired connection, and it connects to the various switches throughout my home, so it doesn't pollute my wireless network, making some improving my wireless network speeds. So it's kind of cool. Like all my food on the menu. Apparently I took it all off the menu. I was only serving main dishes there for a while. Research wise, I'm trying to get over here to be able to make another kitchen, because I want to put a second kitchen over here so I can get more waitresses on this floor. So, kind of cool. download Warframe while I play this, see how it affects my my speeds. I think it will cause too much of an issue, but we'll see. I don't understand why my research hasn't completed yet. It's taken a while to... Boy, the people here love their wine. I don't know what the heck is going on with that. Work on increasing their speed. There. But do that. Oh, I was wondering what's taking the day so long. I was, my goodness, it's taking forever for these days to go by. Apparently, I didn't have it speeded on high speed, which is normally how I roll with this game. It's kind of a slow game, a lot of hurry up and wait, but setting up the kitchen, having everything ready to go is kind of cool. Once I get this downstairs done, I'll work on the next floor, which will be basically just a repeat of the other floor here. So people will be able to go upstairs. I guess I'll be able to increase my kind of replacing some of these tables with the better table, which will gives me more prestige and draws in more people here. Start the next day. Apparently, we don't have enough money to do that. Okay, my research is done. Big hotel furniture, unlimited bars, and 4 unlimited kitchens. What about that? Welcome to the stream. How goes it? Um, Gotta clean up for the day. All right. Well, some of these higher quality tables here. Start next day. So, hire one of my waitresses to hire that. It was like maxed out everything. All right. Make sure there's no one angry before I start to put down more tables. Hmm.